Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear
Okay,
you.
good. So, hello, good afternoon, everyone. We are Kinderhart team. Give me a minute, huh? So, I'm representing the PSB Academy, and my name is Vivian, and the member consists of Isaac, Jerry, Wei and Jason. So, here's our agenda for today's presentation slide, as shown on the screen. So, I'll be talking about problem statement. So, our problem statement is person who are blind likely to use telescope cane, which are elegant and convenient. However, such cane do not stay extended and restrained when making contact with the ground. So there is a need to design a better telescope cane to help people with that suffer from brightness to be able to move more independently and reduce the risk of injury. The telescope cane should be trustworthy equipment for those visual impact because blind people they depend on those sensation beside visual and to decide rather the next step is it safe to move on. So to look more on the solution, right, I will pass to Wei to talk to you guys more. Wei, please.
Correct. So before fabricating the prototype, a preliminary sketch of the ideal concept is done. And the telescopic cane consists of different parts. Firstly, the anti-slip grip allows the user to grip the telescopic cane steadily. And next, the wrist cord lets the user to hang the telescopic cane on their wrist to not lose it while moving the cane around. Then we come to the spring-loaded button, which is the main part of the product. Last but not least, the marshmallow can tip. So it is a thick tip that will not get stuck easily compared to other types of can tips. The working principle of this telescopic cane is very simple. Firstly, the can is extended to the full length and the spring-loaded buttons will be pushed out through the pre-made openings on the shaft, and then it will lock the shafts in place. So after finish using the cane, the user can push the buttons one by one and then retract the cane to a smaller size for easy keeping. All right, let me continue. Next, the spring-loaded buttons were created in 3D CAD models and printed out using 3D printer. After the products were printed, they are assembled with springs to ensure the buttons is always loaded. The diameter of the button housing should follow the shaft diameter accordingly to minimize the vibration and improve the stability of the cane. Next. The spring is the critical part of the mechanism. Therefore, we tested many different diameters and stiffness of the springs, and the most suitable one was chosen to be used in the spring-loaded button mechanism. Next. So these are the prototype we fabricated. On the left, it shows an extended telescopic cane, while the retracted one is on the right. Next. So the first product benefit is it ensures the telescopic cane would not retract when making contact.
Hey guys, I think we're not able to hear you right now. Could you try that again, past 5 seconds or so? We still don't have any audio. Can the other teammate take over for this part?
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sure. So the product benefit, right, is to ensure that the telescope cane do not restrain when making contact with the ground. Therefore, reduce the risk of injury for benefit one. Sorry. So the benefit too is, well, it's being user friendly to those visual impaired, and the case is able to keep it in small size. So we have come to our community partner. So we would like to thank our community partner, SG Enable, and the person who is in charge in our group is Mr. Alvin. He has helped us with research finding, and he also arranged an online interview for us with one of the visual impact enthusiasts. So next, here is our group photo. Some of our members are not able to attend because due to the work and personal issue. So here is the demo video.
Hello everyone, greeting from Kinderhart team. So here I am, my name is Vivian and we are representing the PSP Academy.
I'm Zheng Cong.
I'm Wang Zhesen.
I'm Wei Jie.
I'm Gary.
I like to use telescopic cane, which are elegant and convenient. However, such cane do not stay at standard and retract when making contact with the ground.
Our community partner is SG Enable, and the person in charge, Alvin, helped out with the research finding. And he also arranged an online interview for us with one of the visually impaired enthusiasts. Our target user of the project are visually impaired people.
Firstly, the telescopic cane is extended by pulling the shaft one by one. Next, the wrist cord is hung around the wrist and a trial on walking with the cane was done. After using the cane is retracted to a smaller size by pressing the buttons for easy keeping.
The PVC pipe is used for the prototype building because it is relatively easy to modify, and the polystyrene ball is used to replicate the telescopic cane tip.
With this telescopic cane, those blind men will be needless to worry that the cane will retract easily when making contact with the ground, thus reduce the risk of injuries. While being user-friendly, the cane is also able to keep into the small size.
So we have come to our end of our presentation. So it's our Q&A session. If you have any question, you can leave it in the chat box. We'll answer to them shortly.
Thank you, Kinderhart, for that presentation. So there are actually two questions from the attendees over here. One is already answered by you guys, but I'll just speak it out loud for everyone else. So the question was there a reason why the cane should be retracted one by one instead of it being similar to an automatic umbrella where it retracts all the way with one button? And well, Kinderhart's reasoning is because doing it one by one lets the user adjust the length of the cane according to their own needs, which I think is a great design. There's another question from one of the attendees, which is, have you tested this with any users and do they have any feedback? Sorry, we're still not able to hear you, Jerry. Perhaps you can type in your answer because we're not able to get your audio. And in the meantime, perhaps I'll put another question for you guys. So I think one of you guys did a great user research with interviews, which is really important in product design. Have you considered what materials you would use for building the user tested prototypes for this design? I'm sorry, Jerry, you're still not able to hear you. Can someone else from your team take this question?
Okay, so I will take the first question. Have you tested with any user or do you have any feedback? So actually, we tested on ourselves and we haven't tested on any visual impact because due to the COVID-19, we cannot meet them and pass the product to them also. So to answer to these questions, we didn't test it with the visual impact people, but we tested on our own instead. Yeah.
So let me add on to answer that question correctly. So we actually use the telescopic cane because we know that we want that prototype to not contracted first. So we didn't use the real type of telescopic cane that is available online. Before that, we were trying to buy online, but it was quite expensive and it takes time also. Then we only make modification. We replicate it by using a PVC pipe, which is far different than the material which being used in telescopic cane. But we have tested out the spring-loaded button where it can hold like quite heavy load without contracting. Yeah.
Thank you for that answer. I think it's definitely challenging to do all of this with all the COVID restrictions that we're all living through. And yeah, I think we're out of time right now. If you guys have any more questions for Kinderhart, you can always head over to GatherTown to ask more questions. And yeah, I'd like to thank GatherTown for their presentation.
Thanks.
And yeah,